What I'm about to share with you is going to help you achieve your dreams and goals so much faster. And it's something I absolutely wish I understood years ago. It would have made my life so much easier and saved me so much stress and burnout and fear and anxiety and self sabotage, to be honest. So I want you to think about your current dream or desire, the goal that you want to achieve, or like the big passion that you have for your life that you just want to have laid out for you. This could be creatively, this could be romantically, this could be overall lifestyle, it could be career and purpose, right? It could be financially. Like, get that dream, pull that dream down, and then think about your childhood and be radically honest about if this was actually something that you were passionate about as a kid. I'm gonna make a wild guess that it probably was. And probably before the world told you that there was something wrong with that goal or that you couldn't do it, this was actually there in your mind or in your body or in your spirit. For me, that was writing, that was making a massive impact, that was like traveling the world and working with wildlife and connecting with people. These were like huge core dreams that I had as a little girl. But every single one of those dreams was pushed down or limited or told that I couldn't do it or that it wasn't possible, that I'd never make money at it, it wasn't a responsible choice, it wasn't a real career, right? Limiting beliefs, possible, you name it, I heard it. And so that made me for years feel like I couldn't do it. And so even if I was taking the action forward, there was this internal resistance and a subconscious resistance because of the things that I heard, right? So this is why I'm asking you to reflect on your childhood and reflect on where this dream came from or how far back you can remember having it. Because let's say you remember, oh yeah, I dreamed of having like the money to travel the world, or I dreamed about this job where I was expressing myself, or I was painting, or I was doing that, or I was helping other people. Like I had this desire for that as a little child, but like now it feels so impossible, right? So you've got the dream, you've got the clarity on some of the blocks and the resistance. And now I'm going to invite you to imagine that it had been supported from day one. So literally visualize and spend some time going back to these memories and changing them. So like I will change memories where I was writing books and excitedly sharing like my stories, and instead of it just being kind of dismissed or like, okay, there she's doing it again. Like I'll go back to those memories and rewrite them with the support, the validation, the empowerment of like, oh my gosh, this is such an incredible gift, Kara. Thank you for sharing this. And like I'll imagine that instead of being told I couldn't do it, I was put in rooms like creative writing groups and like storytelling classes and like whatever. I'll make up imaginary things. It doesn't even have to be real. But I imagine and I change the timeline and the trajectory of my life by showing that this dream had been empowered. And what this does in the present is it has immediately shifted all those stories of resistance. So all those places where I felt like, oh, I can't do that, I'm not good enough. Well, if I think of this new pretend past, it was supported, it was good enough, it was validated, it was empowered, and that is exactly the trajectory that I took, right? So you're normalizing in your nervous system and in your subconscious, just in how you see yourself and the identity that you're creating, the story you're telling each day. You're no longer telling a separation story where like your desires over here, you're back here, it's not possible, you're not worthy. Instead, you have completely unified and pulled that desire back in, normalized it as just the truth of who you are, and therefore the outcomes and the corresponding reality are also a natural part of who you are. So when we no longer separate from it and we just go, yeah, this has always been my truth. Like, maybe you're passionate about nutrition, but you don't feel like you are capable enough to build a business or help others because you don't have a degree, and that's the story you've been told. But meanwhile, you have years of experience and your own personal journey and study and all this value to share with people. Well, if you just normalize that and you see that, like, you create these new past experiences for yourself in your mind, and you see that it was always what you were meant to do, and you are more than qualified, and it was always respected and understood by people around you, how much differently would you show up today to go do it? Just like if you always wanted to have a certain kind of relationship, but you were told that was wrong, or you were modeled something different, and so then you don't believe it's possible. Well, go back and visualize and change the scene and create the normalcy that allows you to go, well, why wouldn't I expect that? Like, why wouldn't I have this as my baseline? It's like the people who have been in horrible toxic relationships their whole life, and they go, well, like, I never felt worthy of better. And if they had just observed or experienced something different in their childhood, they would have never settled for that, because they would have believed they deserved the best, right? Like, we want to get into that energy where you are just seeing that your dream, your desire, your passion, your gift, your highest timeline for yourself and your life is normal. It's always been normal. It's not weird or out there or too much. It's literally what's meant for you. And if you can create proof, whether fake or real, from your past and reinforce that story, then you will show up in the present feeling whole and unified and complete, and knowing that you're capable of this. And it's in that shift of embodiment and identity and energy that you are now holding a new frequency. You're now moving through the world differently. You're going to be acting differently. You're going to be showing up and sharing these things. You're no longer holding back and playing small. You're not second guessing yourself anymore. You're not letting someone else's disbelief in your dream hold you back. You are just moving through the world as this full embodied version of you, because you know that's who you're here to be. So go do this. Go do this. And your world will change.